So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to week 11 tutorial class. So in today's discussion, we are going to cover the topic customer relationship management, and we will see how to apply this concept of customer relationship management (CRM) across some of the industry. Particularly, we'll see how the CRM is uh, implemented or can be implemented across telecom sector or industry, across airlines, and also in the hospitality. So we'll see across the CRM application across these three industry. So meanwhile, I will discuss about the kind of case study that will be a part of your end-term exam. So I will let you know somehow at the end what should be the content for the next week 12 lecturing. That will be on the next week, Wednesday. So today, in today's discussion, the emphasis will be to understand the concept of CRM. I hope throughout the journey of this marketing learning, we came across the term relationship marketing or relationship management or the customer relationship management. In short, it is the CRM. So several times, even I have used this term or this concept to teach you, tell you about through this strategy or through this tool, a kind of customer can get, you can increase the customer value, and the firm could get a kind of more able to retain the customer base and make them more loyal and all. So all those steps keeping in mind, today we'll try to have a kind of proper analysis of this construct or this concept all around. So what are the major content in 1 hour session? In tutorial, we'll try to understand the different definition or like from the different way of defining the term CRM. Uh, then we'll talk about why it matters to the firm, and then what are the different regions to implement CRM across different industry. Followed by, we will have a discussion on how CRM works. Probably we will not go too much technical, but I will let you know. All the discussion will be, we'll try to have a balance between the theoretical understanding as well as the practical concept, practical relevance of the term CRM or the relevance of the tool CRM. Just like ERP, enterprise resource planning tools, software tools and services, we have CRM packages, we have a special package for supply chain management. So these are the like more specific domain, like functionality, which is important across the different firm or different industry firms in the different industry. And then finally, as I said, we'll have a discussion. We'll see with lots of example how could CRM successfully implement in the B2C market, especially across three different industry: telecom, airlines, and hospitality. Those who has not marked their attendance in the chat box, I will request to just mark your attendance in the chat box so that you will get a proper attendance at the end. Okay, let's have a like understanding of different ways of defining the term CRM. One could say in more specific term, in a more specific way, that CRM is is a software. It's a kind of software solution which helps firms to integrate different functions across where the customer has a touch points. So that is one of the way of saying that CRM is a software solution, or maybe the operating system or the business solution. But what exactly is CRM is something more than a software, operating system, or a business solution. I mean to say, if you could remember, we talked about the customer insights, so analytics, and also it's more than something. CRM is more than a kind of simple software and services. CRM packages includes, for example, software, different strategies, planning, and the web-based capabilities which organize, coordinate, and manage the relationship with the customer. So the different touch points, different diverse sources of sources or the touch points from where the customer they interact with the company. So try to have an organized way of in collecting all those information, coordinating all the activities, managing the relationship. It covers a whole lots of things. Especially if talk about, if one could talk about the software solution or the CRM as a software, it provides knowledge about the customer, market, current technology, sales, and support. So the activities around the customer is being captured basically using this software solution. So, but what is the key goal of CRM? Is to improve customer retention, increase the sales from the existing customer, and gain more new customer and cut the cost of the customer acquisition. So like these are the different objectives. So important thing is CRM is important to have a kind of customer retention, then acquiring the new customer, and then increase the sales from the existing customer. So it covers all those aspects which is important to for a firm in order to make the any of the firm profitable. So let me mute you all. I could hear some background noise, so it's fine now. So with this starting consideration of understanding of CRM, let's see like why CRM, why it matters. And all these 4 or 5 points, how many? 5 points, which is listed over here on the screen, they are from the research findings. They are the findings from the big agency research, marketing agency or the marketing research firm. So what these findings are, mostly they are from the US context. So try to analyze what they are trying to convey, what messages they are trying to convey. It costs 6 times more to sell a new customer than to sell to an existing customer. In terms of costing, acquiring a new customer costs 6 times higher than to sell to an existing customer. Second very important point, the typical dissatisfied customer will tell 8 to 10 people about his or her negative experiences, bad experiences. That means you need to be very careful. Your customer should not be dissatisfied to the extent that it will go and it's a word of mouth, saying 8 to 10 people about, oh, this product is not at all good, this services was uh, very pathetic, a kind of. So a dissatisfied customer, 8 to 10 people, see the consequences if you're not good in managing the customer relationship. The third very important point is the company can boost up its profit 80% by its annual retention only by 5%. Oh my God, this is like in terms of monetary, see, retaining only the 5%. Think about acquiring a new customer 10% or 20% each year. No, just retain 5%, your profit will boost by 85% annually. The fourth important point is 70% of the complaining customers will do the business with the company again if quickly takes care solving the issues. 70% of complaining customer. You might have noticed some of the customers who makes things more complicating, more irritating behavior and all. But still, research says that 70% of this complaining customer will do the business with the company again. They will purchase your product and services again and again if somebody at the customer services or executive quickly resolve the issues they or he or she is facing. And the fifth point is the chances of selling a product to a new customer are 15%, 1-5, whereas the chances of selling a product to an existing customer is around 50%. You might have heard the term cross-selling, selling the different product lines of the products of the different product lines to the same existing customer. That is a cross-selling. So where is the probability is more? Selling to a new customer or selling to the existing customer? Of course, it is an existing customer, but research says that it's a 50% probability, half of the probability, whereas the new customer in terms of only 15%. So do you think out of having a kind of analysis of these 5 important points, do you really think that CRM matters? Or still do you have any confusion that it should not be? Strongly I can say that the notion is in the direction of customer relationship management. I mean, has the importance, a strategic importance. You can't undermine the relationship. It has the importance. Hope this one is clear. What are the regions to implement CRM then? So, I mean, regions in a sense, what could be the different sort of objectives, goals? One could think about new sales channel to win new or additional customer, sitting the CRM software, buying the CRM packages in order to manage everything so that you can win, you can attract additional customer or new customer. Second thing is some of the firm who has undergone through devastating kind of customer relationship. Customer keeps on complaining for various steps, and your executive is not properly trained to take on the issues and step by step suggesting them how to solve and all these things. So you can think about in that sense you can think about, okay, you wanted to have a improved customer satisfaction, so let's go and buy some sort of solution, software solution, or implement the CRM strategy in the firm. Point number 3, better service adding quality. I mean to say you're already doing good, but you wanted to improve, you wanted to add some more quality, more activities and all. So manually the chances are there, sometimes the executive may forget some of the steps, some of the activities, so it's better to do it everything so that everything will be consistent performance to the customer, consistency in terms of delivery of the services. One could think about implementing CRM. The fourth one is building a strategic relationship. What it does mean, whenever somebody suggests you something is a strategic, having a strategic importance, that means is trying to convey that it is something which is having a long-term implication, long-term performance implications. So strategic relationship is important because you need to rely on those relationships in order to sustain yourself, in order to have a sustainability of your business activities for a long period of time. You don't want to have a kind of short-term gain. Again, you wanted to be retained, you wanted to retain your market shares, you wanted to retain your position in the particular segment of market for a long period of time. So CRM could be a kind of a strategic decision making. And finally, the fifth one is secure the future of the company. I mean, the fourth and fifth are somehow related. You want it to be sustaining, your business to be sustaining in the market for long. So keeping in mind the future growth prospect and all, or maybe this time you are facing only a limited number of customers, right? But maybe you are having a growth plan, international expansion, or different regional expansion. So keeping those growth plan, future plan in mind, you decided to have implement this strategy, this tools or the strategy or the services in your firm, inside your firm. So that could be a reason. There could be other than these five also, but these five are what I'm saying, that these are the prominent reasons for implementing the CRM. Hope this one is clear. So in the next slide, it talks about how does CRM works. A little bit technical, but not much of vague. It seems like it's very, all the four steps are very easy to understand. How the CRM works, maybe in terms of software solution, how it works, or maybe if you are implementing CRM as a theoretical strategy or as a strategy in the firm, how it works. So it works by gathering the information about customer. You're trying to have either the online information gathering platform or database, or maybe manual, it depends kind of. So by gathering all the information about the customer as a first step, once you gather those information, the next step is analyzing those information collected. Point number 3, or step number 3 is getting the conclusion from the collected information. I mean to say conclusion in a sense, trying to see the consistent pattern of the problem or the issues or the happiness or the reason for satisfaction or dissatisfaction, reason for irritating. So you will try to see maybe there is a problem in the product services, or maybe the delivery in the executive, or maybe something kind of, or maybe the external because of the competitor offering. So you try to see some sort of pattern. You try to read some of the lines, is some of the pattern. What is behind the text? What is underneath of the sentences, long sentences? So you try to understand that those aspects. So getting the conclusion, and based on that, the fifth one, the fourth stage is step could be design decision making and planning for acquiring new customer and retaining the old customer. So before going to the CRM and its application in B2C market, business to consumer market, uh, I'm just closing here for assuming that, or considering that you might have some questions, or you wanted to have some discussion over here. I wanted some of you can speak if you, or can add on or can contribute more to this discussion. So the floor is open for you. If you have any doubt, you wanted to have something more in terms of understanding, please let me know. Or even you can use the chat box. But do you really think that CRM is something which is very important for the company? And do you think that, I have not added one slide, it says that uh, around 85% of the firms who implemented CRM failed. So why the success rate is so less? Think about 85% of the firms who implemented CRM, I mean to say who purchased the CRM software and solution, or maybe indirectly they tried to implement this strategy inside the firm. So 85% of the firms, they failed in gaining benefit irrespective of a huge investment in the manpower and all. So what do you think? Why CRM gets failed? Why the outcome is so less? Why 85% firms who implemented CRM got failed nowadays? What is the issue? What is the reason? Can we have a small discussion around this? I took you through the journey where it says that some of the research findings, I shared with you 5 findings, giving a more emphasis on customer is very important. It's significantly, it was telling that implementation or the implementing CRM in the firm is very, very important. But after implementing, 85% of the firms, they said that they are not able to achieve the performance which are supposed to bring by the CRM implementation. So what do you think? What is the problem over there? Can we have a small discussion around this? Feel free to say anything. What do you think? Why CRM is not productive? Why it is the firm is not getting a up-to-date performance? Why they are not able to record the benchmark performance which is supposed to bring by implementing the CRM? Keeping in mind the strategic importance of this term or the concept CRM, customer relationship management. Anyone? Think and speak, or even you can put in the chat box. Everything is all right. Everything will be okay.
It probably takes time to um, continually gain the customers and consistently retain existing customers. And maybe the companies did use the CRM, but they didn't use it efficiently. That's just my thought.
Yes, good points has been made by uh, Amanda. She has came up with 2 different points, but both are the valid reason. One, she said that it takes time to have a kind of performance analysis. It takes time. I mean to say, keeping in mind the importance, strategic importance of CRM or SCM, supply chain management, or the ERP, all these software solutions which are having, which needs, which demands heavy investment at the beginning. it takes time to have a kind of to see, to notice a proper performance outcome, and probably it takes a kind of longer time to realize the benefits. So if you are in a hurry in implementing CRM this year and thinking about next year itself, your customer like market share will be doubled or it will increase, it will be too much over optimistic. It could be a case of over optimism. I mean, if something is having a strategic importance, then you have to continuously build those database of the customer over a period of time, again and again and again, and you have to work on continuously on that one. Probably over after a certain period of time only, you will be able to see some increment in terms of better performance or kind of thing. So it will be too easy to say that or analyze the performance parameter after implementing the CRM. Very, very strongly, I mean, it's a valid reason you have taken out. And the second point, what she has said, it might have not implemented effectively. I mean to say, what do you think? If the leadership has taken a decision, who takes all these decisions of heavy investment? The leaders, right? The top managers, top executive, top management executive, or the founder. So those leaders, suppose if they are willing to go ahead with that, but what happened if they will not get a proper support from the middle level managers and the people who are really working or interacting with the customer? If they are not properly trained, what will happen? The desired outcome will come out? Never. So what is important here? The proper communication. I think I was trying to convey both the points which she has already came out. So it's a kind of leadership issue and the communication issue. If the leadership is taking a strong decision to move ahead with the CRM implementation in the firm, I mean, he has to communicate to each and every level, top management, middle level management, and the normal executive who are interacting day by day basis, on the day by day basis with the customer. So he has to communicate. That is the first thing. And second thing is he has to give a kind of training to each and every staff at the bottom line or the middle line who are taking care of the issues, customer issues. So the effective implementation is important. It's not only the implementation of, so what happened, what I said, 85% of the firms, they failed because they just read some of the read, or maybe some of the founders, or maybe some of the managers, they have done a master's in a master of business administration MBA program. They went through this CRM concept and they thought just to implement it. That is okay, but it has to be effective. Implementation will not lead to, surely effective implementation will not lead to 85% of the failure. It will be simply thinking that something is important and competitors are doing. Yeah, out of 85%, there could be around some like 30 or 40% firms who are just trying to copy from the competitors, because the competitors, they have implemented CRM software, so it's better to go ahead. So considering those decisions and going ahead is not going to give you the fruitful result at the end. So important thing is it has to be the effective, the word effective, I like this word, effective implementation. You know the difference between effectiveness and efficiency. And efficiency, I'm not talking about the efficiency over here, I'm talking about the effectiveness. Efficiency is different. Operational effectiveness and operational efficiency is different. Efficiency is like just minimizing the cost over through the operation. Efficiency is something like output divided by how much output you are getting in terms of input you have provided. But over here the discussion is effectiveness, not the efficiency. Anybody else wanted to add anything? Please go ahead. It's a very good decision, like discussion is going on. Audum, do you have any point? Enoch or Ting Chang? Dunimala or Jara or others, anyone? I wanted you to speak and throw whatever is going on in your mind, so that together we can understand, together we can learn this concept of CRM. There are lots of things in the literature, in the book and all about the CRM, but I'm trying to give you a kind of precise thing, which is very, very important, and it will stay in your mind for a long time, I'm sure. Anybody? Okay, all good. So I'm with that note, I'm just we'll just try to complete the remaining as things, and then okay. Before that, it's better to communicate now itself. In the next Wednesday class next week, I'm going to discuss two different case study. I mean, as I said, in the final term exam or the final exam, there will be a small short cases, mini cases, you can say. It's not a big case, it's a mini cases, a case in one page or maybe 1.5 page. So that will be a part of your 20 or 30 marks of out of 70. So since the case study is a part of your anthem exam, and it's better to go through some of the case study analysis. So uh, I have uploaded two different cases. You could see here on the model, on the module 12, I mean the week 12, Wednesday, next Wednesday. I have uploaded case study 1, case study analysis. This is case study 1, single page, and the case study analysis 2, single page. So two different cases. And I have uploaded these cases in well advance. Why? The reason is I wanted you to participate more and more in, come into, put your points, put your arguments while we have a discussion on this case study. It's a very small and very precise case, very small case, coming up with one issue of the marketing, one aspect of the marketing, trying to touch one, like the first case number 1, it's going to touch the pricing issue and branding and positioning, and the second case is all about marketing research issue. So it's going to touch two or three concept of marketing together. So I have uploaded this one under the module 12. So it's your moral responsibility now to download these two files and go through each cases one by one, and try to make some sort of notes. I mean to say, you know that if I'm talking about the case study which has certain issues that describes certain issues the company is facing, or maybe if even not necessary to have issues, that there could be another prospect of growth or something, whatever. So whatever is there in the case, try to make a small notes, keynotes in your page or in your paper. Try to bring it. Well, I mean to say, when we will have a discussion, maybe I will allow you to throw some of the points which according to your understanding you can throw it, and you will take the part in the discussion. And then through the discussion we'll try to see, maybe at the end I will ask you in this, from each case, 3 or 4 different questions, and we'll see that how to crack that one, how to bring the answer from the case discussion, those questions answers. So we'll try to have some sort of discussion on this one. So we have 2 hour session on week 12 Wednesday. So for each hour we will have a one case. So it's very important to you to go through these cases. That's why I uploaded in advance, and it will make our learning together, the journey to very fruitful together. So that is only the, like, that is the idea over here. So try to understand what is the issue in the case, what is the problem, what is the challenges, what is the key issues, and who are the protagonists, means who are the actor, who are the stakeholder in the, maybe the manager, they are talking about the one manager or the executive, or maybe the outside from government agencies are having decision. So try to see the who are the stakeholders and try to come up with, very important point is, what is your solution, what is your recommendation, what is your suggestion, how as a marketer you could have handled this situation. So it's a completely like in putting yourself in the real position as a kind of marketeer, marketing manager, or marketing executive. Put yourself and think about how you could have, tackle this issues in a better way, or in an improved way. So I think the case study analysis is very, very important. Unfortunately, because of the distance learning and all, and because of the basic foundation of marketing, we are not going to have big cases and all. But maybe later on, in when you will do the graduation, or maybe the higher education postgrads and all, you will come across the big good cases, like which have a complete analysis of a big firm, and then you try to explore various aspects of marketing altogether at the same time. But these cases are narrow, very, very small issues, specific issues are there. So it won't be a complex for you. Like it won't be, it will be easy for you to grasp and to understand. So the level of difficulty is at the low to the moderate level, not the higher and complex level. There are cases on those, but these cases are very plain and simple, and it's good for you. And as I said, it's important because suddenly you will notice in the exam there is a case study, and you might even think that what, I don't have the skills to answer this question. Then what? So it's better to, I decided to take you in so that you have a proper mindset. Once you sit in the exam, you'll see, oh, this sort of case study, it's okay. It will be okay for you, and you'll be able to answer in that time. So just for a practice and all, I'm trying to encourage you to go through these two cases. And next Wednesday, week 12, we will have 1 hour discussion on each cases. So 2 hours, two case discussion. Is that clear to everyone? Or any doubt?
Yeah.
Is there any doubt? All clear to Jara and others? All clear? I'm sure the case study analysis and discussion will improve your thought process, improve your way of thinking, logical thinking, or critical thinking. It will be add-on in your journey. So try to be here like the next week. It's going to be very important for you. We have a limited time. Only 2 weeks are remaining apart from today. So we have to cover whatever is remaining. I'm trying to give the best input. What is remaining as a marketer, I thought, although various aspects, but I thought like which one is important and I have not covered. I'm trying to give you in the better way. That is my motivation over here. So let's continue with the CRM. So what we have covered till now. So we understood kind of way of defining the term CRM. Maybe one could define in terms of software solution, or maybe the kind of a strategic approach, theoretical approach in the form. Why it matters with those 4 or 5 different research outputs, I try to let you understand the strategic importance of the term CRM. There are regions to implement CRM, different objectives, different objectives for the different firms. Maybe the as a as a startup firms, maybe you have different objectives, but as a, like after 5 years, your objective will change, and maybe you are running in the industry for last 40 or 50 years, your objective will be different. So depending on the your objective, there could be various regions to implement the CRM. And we have seen in the 4 different steps how simple is the CRM, like in how it works, CRM it works. Okay, now we have a CRM in B2C market, 3 different industry I have picked up. The first one is telecom. So think about the telecom industry, the telecom services. We often take the services, right, from the telecom service provider. So think about those services and think about the issues whenever you face while having on mobile phone and all, whenever you face any broadband issue and home broadband, or maybe the internet or other issues, whatever. So think about what sort of strategy the telecom firms they adopt, or they do what they do in order to satisfy the customer needs, or to tackle the issues of the customer. So the fundamental idea in the CRM program is to retain the customer and increase their lifetime value by building loyalty. Customer purchases the services of a telecom firm only for a particular time period, and he or she can easily defect to the competitors. I mean to say, you have both the option, right? Postpaid and prepaid. So those, think about those who are having a kind of prepaid, right? Not the postpaid, prepaid services if you are consuming. I mean to say, if you think that this month you have a necessary, you use this. Otherwise, next month, if you think that you are not going to have any use of the internet, Wi-Fi, or you will not refill it, you will not recharge it. I mean to say, the customers are like considering on the particular time frame, they take the decision of buying your services. In such cases, the strategy of the telecom provider is to provide a very good service, so that proves to be a differentiating factor and motivates the customer to repurchase the service or upgrade the service. So differentiating factor, you must have a differentiating factor. I could see, if you see in the Tesla, if you could see the different service provider, even I could say the Optus is there and Belong is there. You see, they're trying to differentiate. Each service provider has the different positioning in terms of international calling or national calling and national data free, SMS free, and everything. If you could if you could do a quick comparative analysis of some of the providers in Australia, you'll see that everyone is trying to differentiate their offerings to some extent or to a large extent from the competitors. So first task is to provide quality service to the customer, of course, right? And the call rate tend to vary with the time and also the occasion. I mean to say, these are the ways you can differentiate yourself, right? Maybe you can have an off peak time, on peak time, or maybe that basis on the basis of different occasion or holidays and all. You can have a kind of different differential pricing and all. So this way you could differentiate your offerings so that customer will you will be able to retain your customer. The telecom firm can provide quality service by making sure that it uses appropriate technology to cater the peak load and also calls to be routed through the different paths in the case of busy lines. I think we have noticed that sometimes if you have issues and if you are trying to have a kind of talk with your customer services, I have I was having the last week I was having the home internet issue in my house, and many of the times when I interacted with Optus, they have routed to the Thailand. One time it went to the Bangladesh, and one time it was India. So different customer executive calls, different calls in the different places across the world. So I mean, maybe it's like the COVID. They were saying that COVID-19, and we have less manpower in Australia, so they were rerouting it to some other location. So I mean, this is the way of customer retention. If nobody is there to handle my situation in this difficult time, maybe I will think to drop the Optus services and take the Belong or maybe the other what is that, TCS and other firms who are offering the same home internet. So it's difficult to retain. So you have to have something kind of rerouting the, if something is not working properly or if it is a busy lines. Channel noise and other irritates such as crosstalk need to be reduced. Probably this sort of issues are mostly noticed in the developing countries where the infrastructure is limited. But I'm sure like the developed nations, developed economy like Australia and US and European countries, they don't have the issues of the noise cancellation or the irritation or the crosstalk and all. Continuing with the telecom only, customer might be a very high volume user or might be so depending on them. Sometimes you see that they have the differential pricing for the heavy users or limited users, so kind of thing you can think about in order to retain both segment of the customer. Successful telecom service provider always manage their churn rate effectively. Uh, Probably in the telecom industry, they use the term churn rate in order. It's a kind of retention rate, retention. So how many percentage you are able to retain each year. So it's a churn rate. All telecom firms have a call center to provide information to customer. We know that they have loyalty program wherein old and the heavy users are rewarded with the differential pricing. It works in most of the economy, loyalty program. Even think about the business customer, B2B business customer, not the we are the B2C customer, but think about business to business customer, like university as a kind of customer of Optus. So it's kind of heavy uses. So they can have a kind of different pricing strategy or different service offering in order to retain the bigger client like University of Newcastle. One way to prevent defection is to identify good customer who are likely to defect using data mining methods and prevent. So again, CRM, if you are purchasing CRM services and all, you will get the data mining tools or methods or analytics which will help you in getting the issues which your major client or major customers are facing. So that way you can minimize by having a kind of selective attention. So somehow we understood how CRM works in the telecom industry. The second one is airlines. We all know that airlines is a very high capital intensive industry. I mean to say, think about the investment of in terms of creating the big you know, the cargo space places or the even airports and all. It's a high, even the cost of the aeroplanes and all, high capital intensive industry that requires huge investment at the initial. Airlines face prolonged customer contact over the period of the journey of the passenger. So huge competition in the industry has made airlines look at cultivating long-term relationship with the customer because of the huge competition. They use various strategies to attract and retain the customer. Think about yourself, like whenever the last time or maybe in the last 2 3 years, whenever if you have picked up particular airlines for a regular visit and all, did they try to attract you, did try to retain you by offering different good offerings and all? Think about that. Your answer will be of course yes. Airlines resort to differential pricing to distinguish their economy class with the business class. That is one way. Frequent flyer programs. Most of the airlines now they are offering they are already in the frequent flyer programs. You have the extra mileage, mileage points, and then later on you can reimburse it. You can convert it into coins. So like that. Sometimes the flight schedules of the airlines might be disrupted because of the unforeseen reasons. So take the responsibility for such disruption and provide hotel and transport. Yes, I could remember, like one of my friend was like last year he was traveling to to India and through the Singapore and so through Singapore Airlines and some of the location it was it like there was in disruption and overnight around 28 hours they put them to the somewhere in Thailand and all in one of the hotel and it was totally free. So there are like these are the cases like where you have to work, you have to be very proactive because ultimately you have to retain the customer. Airlines offer differential pricing based on the time of purchases. Yes, well advanced in 6 months before the prices are different and just 6 days before you see the price is different. So it's a differential pricing to retain the customer. Some categories of the passengers, such as students, seniors, disabled, also get the significant cost of concession. Not every airlines, but yeah, as I said, there are some of the airlines they are trying to give you this sort of concession. It's a kind of differentiating yourself from the others. Service philosophy in airlines requires them employees to maintain a smiling face while dealing with all the problems, such as the if you get like ill, fallen sick while in the plane, or baggage misplacement, flight delay. Probably I have went through all these three, like in the last 10 years, if I could remember. So yes, I have seen that not really like not every airlines is good. Not really, not every airlines is like more proactive in handling the baggage misplacement issues or the delays issues. But yes, if you are having a kind of if you have booked your ticket in the somehow standard or benchmarking or the top service provider, probably you will get a kind of good services from there. So in coming years, CRM will increasingly play an important role in determining the performance of the airlines. That's why we had a discussion on the Singapore Airlines SA. Singapore Airlines is known as the best airlines in the world, and it's a kind of wow for the customer. They feel that it's a kind of wow service. It's a more than expected what they expect. It's more than what they expect they get while selecting the Singapore Airlines. So that's all about the airlines. And finally, we have CRM in hospitality. Maybe the hospitality industry, such as hotels and the restaurants of various types, vacation resorts. So right from the time that customer make contact with the hotel, either through the phone or through an agent to book the rooms, arrival at the hotel, occupying the rooms, and finally checked out. There is a continuous interaction between the customer and employee of the hotel. Same thing for the restaurant, or if you have gone through some of the vacation resort. So right from the beginning to the end, check out, you see the different people are involved, different executive, the different customers are involved in providing you the services. All these are the part of CRM activities in order to retain, make them loyal. so that they can visit again and again. So idea of CRM is to retain the customer and make them visit regularly. The customer tend to be primarily of two kinds: corporate, who visit an official purpose for the, whereas the guest on the personal visit. So you can have a kind of, again, differential pricing for the those who are coming for the personal visit, or those who are coming for the official purposes, like making a kind of short-term of short-term time conferences and all. Employees are a very important resource in the hospitality industry. That's why we have extended 7 P's, right? Where we talk about the physical evidence, people, and process. Keeping on mind, the process is very important. The employee is very important resources, and the physical evidence, the ambience is very important in the hotel industry, or even in the resort, or maybe the restaurant, all over, like everywhere. The physical ambience, looks and feels are very, very important factors to retain and the customer. Employee morale, welfare, and the training directly affect the quality of the services. That's why Singapore Airlines, they are devoted. You remember the 40-30-30 rule of Singapore Airlines. 30% of the resources goes to the training, directly to the training and development for the employee and executive. So you need to be very, very prompt in taking those sort of crucial decisions, because ultimately it's the customer who serves the, it's the executive who serves the customer. So some of the many innovative CRM program has been implemented in the hospitality industry, such as frequent users program. More and more visit, you will get some sort of reward points, and later on you can that can be reimbursed. So frequent users program rewards customer for using services of the firm again and again. Another scheme is a membership program, where regular customers are encouraged to join an exclusive club, right? Which offers the benefits such as the discount on services. You know, the you did you hear the term, what is the Hogs, HOG, Harley Davidson Ownership Group, HOGS, Hoggies, right? In short, it is known as HOGS, Hoggies. So I mean, they have created a kind of membership group. It's a kind of exclusive club. So that could be a kind of why they are making this kind of like membership club or exclusive club with some more offerings. Idea is to retain, make them loyal to the firm. Hotels, they keep in touch with their customer through the frequent newsletters and the publication, and also offer sightseeing and advisory services. We all know that the aim of all these efforts is to earn the goodwill and loyalty of the customer. And hospitality is one of the industry where referral play a very important role. Repeating customers are very profitable to the. So even, you know, the referral, what I say, a satisfied customer will tell 5 to 6 people about good thing about it. So the word of mouth, spreading word of mouth, is another important factor which plays very important role in the hospitality sector. So see, if I visited one of the cuisine or one of the restaurant in Charlestown, maybe I will suggest some of my other friends, colleagues to go, and it's very tasty. You know, it's a kind of word of mouth, and that gives you, for the firm, it's very important. That gives you more and more profit. So, so in that sense, we have seen overall what we have noticed here. We have seen the application of CRM in different market, B2C market, business to consumer market. From predominantly, we have had a focus on the telecom industry, airlines industry, and hospitality, where you can think about hotel and restaurant and other vacation resorts. With that, I think we have gone through all the slides for today's discussion. So let me know if you have any questions over here, and or along with that, if you have any issues regarding the deadline of the group assignment. So let me repeat you once again. The deadline is on Sunday, 10th of May. Try to upload it by 9 p.m. So that is there. That is on the paper, or that is on the schedule. So you have 2 more days to go, and but I will suggest you to upload it before, in order to check the plagiarism. Last time I have personally taken care of you, some of you, I think 4 or 5. I personally mailed you suggesting you to please, can you do it, because this is unexpectable. I won't be able to mark you properly, or it will go to the some of the plagiarism, some of the official in the university, and they will decide if they can either put you 0, or maybe they will. So I was like, I took proactive action, steps from my side, and I requested you through the mail, personal mail, that can you improve it, and I allowed you 2 or 3 more days to resubmit it. So that was like my first time I did that one. But over here, I will suggest you to just use to take the proactive action in terms of judging your plagiarism percentage, checking your plagiarism percentage, and before the final deadline, like the Sunday 9 p.m., try to upload the final version of the report. Let me know, is there any issue over here? Is that it also includes the references and table of contents. See, the standard table of content is, yeah, it's better to keep because it's a group report, so it's better. Like I could see from the beginning itself, like how can we turn it in, not look at that. How can I didn't get you. Uh, can you speak? Can you unmute and speak? Okay. See, standard is like you just have a table of content. Try to keep it the standard, like the table of content and the references both. Okay, you wanted to check the plagiarism percentage. You want to take it out. There is an option in the in the turn it in report. There will be option option for the filtering. So you must filter out the reference, and you must filter out the double quote, something which you have taken directly. Some of the definition, some of the quotation you took it from some sources. So although you mention it using the double quote, that is okay. But if you filter it out, then it will reduce the, like it will not count. Suppose what I'm saying, that if suppose you have not taken you have not taken any filter, right? You have not set any filter, then suppose your plagiarism percentage is coming 42% in that case. And once you will filter out with the this double quote and the references, that option is there, then it will reduce to maybe 20-25. So if it is 20% around 20-25, that is fine for you, or 15-20 is fine for you. So I think you got it. Okay, okay, that was the issue. So you have that, keep in mind, you have that filtering option in the Trinity. You just see one of the icon will be just kind of filter, and the right side you see the small icon will be filter. If you click that, you have to tick double quote, and you have to tick reference, then it will filter, and then again you say, then it will filter out. And otherwise, if you're not, just let me know through the mail. I will guide you. No worries. Any other issue? Any other issues to anyone? I hope everything is clear for you guys, and uh, see you again. Once again, let me repeat you, like the both case study discussion. I want everybody to participate in the coming Wednesday. You should open up, you speak something. So that's why you have the cases in well advance. Read it. It's one page, is like one and one, 2 pages for 2 different cases. So one by one, we will go and we'll touch across the various points from this case. All good here, and if you have marked your attendance, be happy, you'll be awarded your percentage for attendance for today's class. So see you on next Wednesday now there. Thank you all, and I have another classes, so yeah, take care. Bye everyone.